Hey, hope how are we all doing? Good to see you. Welcome back to another night, another day of Premier League footy. We've got Liverpool against Forest. We was going to have Dylan on today, but Dylan has been waylaid with trains, the typical British train system. For whatever reason, the trains aren't working. So Dylan isn't with us today, but Dylan will be joining us on another stream coming up. So you'll see Dylan soon, I'm sure. 3-star Reds, how's it going? The Eastern Red, a day early, eh? 3-star, good to see you, mate. Forest ready to rumble, Dyche ball, the game plan that Slot will learn from. Listen, I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit concerned by Forest and how their approach today could work. Because if you look at Forest, they probably are the team that could most cause Liverpool problems. Since Sean Dyche came in to Nottingham Forest, I think Forest have played more long balls than any other team. More long balls than any other team in the Premier League since Sean Dyche came in. So, are we actually? Hang on a second. Liverpool to win 3-2. Liam Manning, afternoon. How's it going, mate? Good to see you. Come on, how are we doing? Right, it is working. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Joe, how's it going? Let's do the lineups. Let's go through the lineups because we have got a slightly different look and feel today in terms of Liverpool's lineup and Forest's lineup too, to be honest. Liverpool's lineup, we have gone with Alisson back in goal. That's a big plus for us. No Mamardashvili, who, to be honest, I think Mamardashvili's done fine. I'm not worried about Mamardashvili at all. I think Mamardashvili is a long-term replacement for Alisson. I'm not concerned about him in the slightest. So yeah, I'm fine with Mamardashvili, but I think Alisson coming back in is a huge plus. Liverpool have gone with Szoboszlai at right back. We've got Van Dijk, Kanate and Kerkez alongside him. Kerkez over Robertson. What do we think of that one if you're a Liverpool fan? I'll be honest, I like Kerkez. So I had a big argument with Liverpool fans over the weekend. We were talking about Kerkez. I think he's fantastic. I don't necessarily think he's had the best start to his Liverpool career, but he's still only young. Guy's only 21. He was in the PFA Team of the Year last year. Give him a chance. Give him time. The whole team hasn't been brilliant this year. Kerkez, I'm not really all that surprised that he's not thrived. So I'm not surprised he starts today with Forest having Ndoye on that right wing. We need someone with a lot of pace. Now, Robertson isn't slow, but Kerkez is rapid. And if we're coming up against Ndoye, it's going to be a very difficult type of game, I think, for whoever our left back is. So Kerkez, I think, is the right choice. Szoboszlai at right back. And it's interesting that Forest have gone with Dominguez, with Anderson, Sangare and Gibbs-White. They've gone for a very narrow sort of left-hand side. They've left Hudson-Odoi, they've left Hutchinson on the bench. You know, they've not gone for pace and width. They've gone for sort of grafters, narrow, more central midfielders, if anything. So I think Gibbs-White may tend to drift out to the left, but he is their number 10, isn't he? I think Dominguez, Anderson and Sangare will be, if anything, that trio protecting the back four. And the back four is pretty much as they've been all season. Nico Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic. Savona on the right-hand side. That's probably the only one that you would look at and think, well, if they had Olaina, he would be back in. But no Douglas Luiz for Forest. No Olaina. No Chris Wood, of course. No Zinchenko either. So Forest not necessarily at the elite sort of perfect first 11 either. But Liverpool, we've got Alisson in goal, Szoboszlai, Van Dijk, Kanate, Kerkez. Happy with that. Midfield 3, McAllister, Gravenberch, Jones. I think if you're dropping Szoboszlai out, then Jones has to come in. I've no problem with Jones. I think he's a good player. And up front, Salah, Isak, Gakpo, Ekatike staying on the bench. Scottish GHK, 3-star Reds regarding Forest winning again since the moon landing. Your players will need rockets up their butts to catch the long balls. And Carol, good afternoon, Key. And 3-star, how are you doing? Good to see you, Carol. And FCB, hi mate, up the Liverpool. I want your opinion on why Liverpool have been so poor this year. Liverpool have been so poor this year for a multitude of reasons. It's not just one thing, it's a number of different things. First one would be, and I'm not going to, this isn't in any priority, by the way, before anyone starts caning me, but priorities, I'm not going to put it in any category, but there's a number of reasons why. Number one, Jota. The team are in grief. The team are literally grieving. It's a tragedy that's totally unprecedented. You have no idea how it affects the entire squad. They miss him as a player. They miss him as a colleague, as a teammate. You can't underestimate that. So I think, one, that's a factor. Number two, I think it's also the fact that we've lost a number of key players in Trent, in Diaz. Robertson's dropped out the side. Alisson's been injured. So all of a sudden, you're talking 4 to 5 of the first team that won the league last year are no longer there now for big parts of this season. So you can't replace half a title-winning first 11 and expect it to just be the same, plus throw in Diogo Jota's passing, and all of a sudden it becomes very easy to understand why Liverpool maybe haven't quite, clicked into gear straight away. The other thing I would say as well is that a lot of new players coming in, I think Arne Slot is still trying to figure out exactly how best to piece them all together. We've seen Wirtz off the left. We've seen Wirtz in a number 10 position. We've seen Wirtz starting games. We've seen Wirtz off the bench. We've seen him in that number 10. We've seen him as part of a midfield 4, as part of a midfield 3 and slightly deeper. And he's tried him in all these different ways, sometimes playing behind a front 2, sometimes playing as part of a front 3 or behind a front 3. There hasn't been a consistent style or approach from Liverpool this season. I think that's natural. It's not something to dig Arne Slot out about. It's very, very natural when you have got a lot of new players and a new team. So he's now just trying to work out exactly how all these wonderfully talented chess pieces all fit together. And I think that's what we're seeing. So I think there's a lot of different reasons, but it's a connection of them all. Or accumulation of them all. Josh, Isak starting, controversial. Mick 92, yes lad, come on Palace, come on Forest, sorry. And Liam, where's Dylan? Dylan is, he's unfortunately caught by the British train system today. So Dylan was meant to be with us today. I had a chat with him yesterday, just to agree exactly how it would all work. He was very happy with it all, really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, he's missed a train, I think, today coming back, and he's ended up, the trains have been delayed up in Scotland, so he can't make it. He sends his apologies. I'm sure he will be on in a future game. It's no problem at all. We'll get Dylan on at another time. Really looking forward to having Dylan on. What are we saying here? He is Dylan. Hi, Dylan. I predict 2-1 Liverpool. Me too. And Paul, at some point, LFC are going to click, hopefully before Xmas, then let's see. And DC, so you have to blame the club and the manager for changing so much and not getting the right people in. I don't think it is a case of not getting the right people in. I think it is a case of we've changed so much, and we've changed it because we had to change it. Trent was going, we couldn't control that. Diaz was going, we couldn't really control that. Jota passed away, we couldn't control that. So it felt like Liverpool had to make some big changes, and unfortunately, when you do make significant changes in a short period of time, inevitably you see the sort of chaos we have seen. The game is off and underway, by the way. I forgot to click the scoreboard. Let's get the game off and underway. Hopefully a fast start in this one, but I don't think it will be. I think Liverpool have to just feel our way back into this. International breaks have never really been the best time for Liverpool. We've always struggled after international breaks, in my experience, or in my humble opinion. We never perform at our best when players are coming back after Europe and after travelling around the world. So I'm intrigued to see exactly how we approach this one. I'll keep you updated, of course, on all the other games across the Premier League today. Loads of other Premier League games going on. Nick, Edie's dad, good to see you. And Be Yourself Dylan, connection isn't great on here, but I'm watching, hopefully. Samir, quick predictions, Key. Quick predictions, I think 2-1 Liverpool, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was a point here, if it was a draw. Hey, Scottish GHK, thank you for the super chat, really appreciate it. R.E. Jota, the Robertson tribute after qualifying was class. Yeah, that's incredible. That's a really, really important point, and I think it reminded quite a few, didn't it, just how big of a factor the Jota death was. It wasn't just it wasn't him just dying and passing away, and maybe you expect these things. He was a young man in the prime of his life. He just married his sweetheart, and they've got kids and everything. The teammates had just been out to Portugal and witnessed him getting married a couple of weeks prior, and it's just so untimely. It's awful, and you can see how massively it's affected these players. Again, not saying that is the reason, but it's certainly a reason, and people are so quick to point and say, well, yeah. They're very, very keen to say it hasn't got a thing to do with it. I would say those people maybe have been blessed in their life and they haven't really experienced grief. And hopefully they don't in that way anyway. Hopefully they don't. Bad Pup, strange watching Rangers after an international break and they don't have a new manager. And FCB, are you doing City this tea time? I am, yes. I will be doing the City game. Birmingham 1-0 up against Norwich. And Lisha says, hey, that was the mic you mentioned to me. Yes, I've got the mic. I've got a proper mic on now. So it's a little bit better. Hopefully the audio quality... Is the audio quality a little bit better? I mean, you still have to hear me, so it's, it's as good as it can be when you're hearing my voice, but is it better than it was? I would hope so, anyway. It took me long enough to try and fix it. Right, Forest free kick here. 4 minutes in. Cleared away, strike by Forest over the bar quite comfortably. Strike from Dominguez, I think it was. Murillo getting his bearings all wrong. It was cleared away by McAllister and it came out to Dominguez. Dominguez smashes it over the bar. So first shot in anger from Forest. But opening 5 minutes, we've not really seen an awful lot here. Lisha, it's a boomerang, right? Do you know what? I don't know. I don't know what brand it is. I've no idea. I've no idea. Mansfield 0, Huddersfield 1. Scottish GHK, it's better but low. Oh, see, you're on YouTube. I'm on about TikTok. I can turn the audio up on here. That's just this mic. I can just turn the audio up ever so slightly. I can make this a little bit more sensitive. Paul Hexham, you're a bit behind me, pal. I am on 4 minutes 55, nearly 5 minutes. I've just gone over 5 minutes rather. Lisha, no, boomerang isn't a brand. I'm talking about how it can adjust and move. Ah, it's called the boomerang mic. I see. I see. Then yes, it is one of those. Right, let me unpin that. Yeah, looking forward to the City game later, actually. I think Newcastle can get something in that one. I watched the Chelsea-Burnley game earlier. What do we think of the Chelsea and Burnley game? The Chelsea-Burnley game was an interesting one. I thought Burnley defended really, really well in that one. And I've got to say, I am perplexed at how Burnley didn't get a penalty. At least one, actually. Could have had two, couldn't they? Could have had one when Robert Sanchez passes it to the defender. The defender bends down and touches the ball in the penalty area. That should have been a penalty, but I can understand why it wasn't. But I don't understand how, when the corner's coming in, and is it Badiashile? Badiashile wrestles him into the post. And the ref goes over and gives him a card. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. You can't not give that. Oh, that was better from Liverpool. Much, much better. Pup says, missing the on-screen chat. Yes, so I'll tell you for why. Right, we've not got an on-screen chat today on YouTube because, and I'm not actually on Twitch right now either. I'm only on TikTok and YouTube. The reason is because basically I've confirmed that the reason the stream went down yesterday and the reason the stream sometimes lags is because of Streamlabs. It's nothing at all to do with the internet here or anything to do with what I'm doing. It's basically Streamlabs is a piece of crap, in my opinion. So I'm not using Streamlabs anymore. I just refuse to use it. I'm going to switch back to OBS. OBS is a little bit more pernickety. It doesn't have some of the widgets and things, but you know, I'm now getting used to OBS again, and because I did that, there's no on-screen chat just yet. There will be next time. Right, hang on a second. Is that any better for YouTube audio, by the way? Is that any better? Daniel, get on StreamYard. Do you know what? I'm trying to think. I've tried StreamYard, but I didn't think that was brilliant either. But StreamYard does help in terms of phone-ins, because I want to do a phone-in. I'm going to be doing a phone-in soon, but I think I can do it through OBS anyway. Notts County 1, Colchester 0. Swifty will be made up with that one. Liverpool down the left-hand side here. Ball played in. Unlucky. Barnsley 1 up against Luton as well. And Daniel, Chelsea stink. I wouldn't judge Burnley on today's game. MC will be back in this title race tomorrow evening. I fancy Newcastle and Spurs big time. And, oh, chance must be. Oh, clear for the penalty, is it? Liverpool. Oh, no. That's much better. That is much, much better. We've got Forest penned in here. Chance. Oh, get it away. Liverpool corner. This is better. This is much better. This is the fast start that we wanted. Come on. Great ball down the right-hand side. The ball gets played back. It's McAllister. Oh, it's a good block. It's a very, very good block in the end. Gakpo. Still 0-0 everywhere else in the Premier League, by the way. Wolves 0, Palace 0. Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, Brighton 0, Brentford 0, Bournemouth 0, West Ham 0. And Tranmere have just gone 1-0 up against MK Dons at Prenton Park. Ooh, that was a bit naughty. Scottish GHK, similar but okay if I have volume at a higher level, but not over the top level. I'll have a look at that as well. I don't know why it's done that. I can turn it up. Swindon 1-0 up against Grimsby. Swindon flying in League 2. And Rangers 1, Livingston 0 as well. So Rangers gone in front. Pup will be happy with that. Tranmere 1, MK Dons 0. That was the one. Right, what we're saying, sorry. How did we not score there? I know. We've had some chances early on though. It's good. It's better. It's positive. It's a fast start. I want to see Isak get a goal today. Isak goal here would just shut people up a little bit, wouldn't it? FCB says, yes, get in up the Tranmere. By the way, if you're new on YouTube or if you're on TikTok, you want to follow us on YouTube, please do give us a like, give us a follow. It massively helps. If you can, subscribe, and yeah, live every single day. So please do give us a like and a follow wherever you're watching this. 3-star Reds, Forest just allowing Liverpool to feel confident before they finish the job. I was going to say, it feels like you're lulling us into a false sense of security here. There's going to be lots of long balls, just like that one from Matt Sells. Played very direct, and Igor Jesus wrestling with... Who is it? He's usually wrestled with there. Van Dijk. West Ham are in front against Bournemouth. Bournemouth 0, West Ham 1. It's a goal at Bournemouth. I didn't think that would happen. A goal at the Vitality. But who to, Chris Kamara? It's West Ham. West Ham have gone in front. Who scored it? Who scored it? Is it? Oh, it's Callum Wilson. It's Callum Wilson against his old team. Areola with the assist as well. So it must be a long punt upfield. The goalkeeper with an assist. And West Ham are in front at the Vitality. That's a big old goal, that one, at the foot of the Premier League. West Ham not had a great start to the season, but they're starting to put some wins together. And, yeah, that win would take them quite comfortably out the relegation zone. 3 points clear of Burnley. Pup says it's Livingston, so my expectation is a 2-1 defeat. And FCB says, what do you mean Isak's being crap? What do you mean today? Are you on about in the first 11 minutes here or just in general for Liverpool? He hasn't been crap. He hasn't played, has he? He hasn't kicked a ball really for us. He started against Southampton, scored. He started against Frankfurt, had to come off injured and hasn't really been seen since. Chance. Oh, unlucky. Mansfield 0, Huddersfield 2. Terriers starting to dominate that one. MC says, Kenny Cunningham on Irish coverage reckons Salah will be gone in January. Gobshite. Hey, thank you, Paul. Thank you very much for that, mate, as always. Daniel says, where's Chris Wood? Chris Wood is injured. He's not even on the bench today. The Eastern Rares, I say 2-0 today, and FCB says V-Man U. Okay, but one game. You can't say Isak's being crap, what, and then you cite one game. And to be fair, he wasn't crap against Man United. He just didn't. He missed a couple of chances, didn't he? Probably only one that you could say, but I don't think that's a big jump, isn't it? To say he wasn't fantastic in one game after not really playing at all. He comes in, didn't have a great game against United, therefore he's been crap. That's a little bit intellectually disingenuous, in my opinion. Daniel says Isak's 6-month pre-season is over. It's a claim for a handball there from Kirkes. I don't think it was. I don't think you're going to get a handball for that, to be fair. And MC says, Slot really doesn't rate Gomez, does he? Surely the way Szoboszlai's been playing, he's needed in midfield. I honestly think this was a reaction to Nottingham Forest's lineup, maybe. I guess it depends. I think he would have put Gomez there, but I think Szoboszlai was, or maybe Slot was expecting him to put Callum Hudson-Odoi on that side, and it's maybe a touch better to have Szoboszlai v Hudson-Odoi versus Joe Gomez against Hudson-Odoi. I don't know why, because I think Hudson-Odoi, Gomez could deal with him as well. I really rate Gomez, but inevitably, maybe Slot doesn't. Daniel, score prediction for this one. I think 2-1 Liverpool. Yeah, 2-1. That's poor. That's easy. And it's a goal kick for Liverpool. Like it. Lisha, Elliott or Wharton, who are you taking in a final tomorrow? If I could only pick one, it would be Wharton. Yeah, comfortably it would be Wharton. Scottish GHK, Kamara should do Specsavers ad given missed stuff. Chris Kamara or Glenn Kamara, who are we on about here? Swindon are 2-0 up against Grimsby. Paul Hexham, hey, I've got my hat on. Thanks, Paul. And Daniel, I like Gomez. I really like him. He's Liverpool's longest serving player. I don't understand why we don't play him more. I know maybe his fitness has been a little bit questionable over the years, but his ability, his talent isn't, is it? I think if Joe Gomez wanted to get a move, there was talk in the summer. There was talk about him going in the summer, and he was going to go to AC Milan, I think. AC Milan, generally, they're a big club. You certainly wouldn't say they sign duds by and large. They've certainly signed some duds. But generally speaking, I don't think Joe Gomez would fall into that bracket. This is better. Here's Szoboszlai. Give it off. It's good play. Very good play. Still the only goal in the Premier League is that one at the Vitality. Bournemouth 0, West Ham 1. And FCB518 says, I saw some loony on the internet say Slot out. Oh, hey, you get plenty of them as well, don't you? QPR 0, Hull 1. Salah, good run from Salah, good ball, must be. Oh, no, unlucky. MC, Gomez is a level up on Canate. Not sure why he never plays. Fucking hell. You hate Canate and hate Kirkes, don't you? Absolutely hate him. He's not a level up on Canate. Gelhardt again for Hull. And Paul says, if we can get that first goal, I think we cruise to a win, pal. Forest don't look at it today, I've got to say that. They do not look at it here. But I agree, Paul. I think if Liverpool get that... The first goal is going to be very important here. And the longer it stays 0-0, obviously, the more Forest will grow in confidence. And yeah, something tells me I think Liverpool can do it. Fancy us. Callum says, where the fuck has that Salah been all season? He turned him inside out and then passed. Hey, maybe the press has got to him. Maybe they've told him, listen, you need to start passing, you soft lad. Kanate is a legend, says Be Yourself, Dylan. I agree with that. And Howard's hope we can hold on against the Cherries. Let's hope so. Yeah, I'd quite like West Ham to stay up. I have predicted you to go down though this season, I will say that. The Eastern Red, also key, and Liverpool forever, Josh. Bloody people need to stop changing the bloody names. I can't keep up with it. Rangers 1, Livingston 1. Oh, Pup. Pup's going to be absolutely raging. Livingston have equalised against Rangers. Sweet Lord. FCB says, I support Stoke City and Tranmere and Liverpool. I don't know why you have patience for it, mate. I struggle just with Liverpool, to be honest. Does my head in just supporting Liverpool at the best of times. Mackenzie, you cream over Kanate. Well, he's second best defender in the world. I think most do, to be honest. Real Madrid certainly do. Real Madrid want him. They don't sign bad centre-backs, do they? Paul, first goal scorer for Liverpool. I reckon the game is made for Gakpo. Cody back post tapping. I hope so. MC, he doesn't have Kanate's physical attributes, Gomez, but he is a better footballer. Maybe, yeah, there's probably an argument for that. I'd agree with that. If you're talking just about his... I know, but that's such a big part of the modern game, isn't it? Such a huge part of being a top defender is how quick are you, how strong are you, how tall can you jump, how high can you jump, and all of that stuff is really important, and Kanate's better than everyone pretty much at that. Huddersfield now 3-0 up. Three-star Reds, don't be fooled, Key. This is how we start games at times, and then we grow in strength later in the game. Oh, listen, I'm fully aware of it, mate. You didn't start particularly well against Man United, and then you ended up 2-1 up somehow. So I'm absolutely aware that Forest can spring one on us. I think I would hope Liverpool and Arne Slot are equally aware of that as well. Thank you for the retweet. I appreciate it. Cheers for the likes, by the way. See if we can get to 1K before half time. I hope that's not serious, by the way, three-star Reds. VAR looking at a possible Forest pen. You're never getting a pen for that. You're never getting a pen for that. Never, ever, ever in a million years are you getting a pen for that. No chance. Never a pen. Look at the state of that, honestly. Look at the state. Ellis Thompson, how's it going? Good to see you. And MC says Salah started well today. He's using the ball much better. 3-star Reds, no penalty. Yeah, do you reckon? Do you reckon? Of course it's no penalty. It was never a penalty, that. I'll get a penalty for that. Christ, give 14 penalties a year for that. If that's a penalty, everything's a penalty. Brentford have gone 1-0 up at Brighton. Oh, the Amex has not been the bastion, the fort that Brighton thought it would be this year. They have been, well, they're a goal down. They're a goal down against Brentford. Oh, no, I think he's been disallowed. Ah, well, there you go. Brentford were 1-0 up, but it's been disallowed. And 3-star Reds, it's nearly Christmas Key. We can hope for a little bit of charity. Well, it'll have to be charity to get penalties like that given. Leicester 1, Stoke 0. That's a shock. Honestly, the Championship is quickly becoming the best league in Europe, in my opinion, in terms of like actual entertainment and watchability. You can't predict it. There's like 2 points separating 8 or 9 teams. Daniel, Forest deserve the win because they're managed by a proper geezer. Dyche. Leyton Orient 1, Blackpool 0. That's a big goal as well. Scottish GHK, as a Hearts fan, I'm backing Livingston, Dundee and St Mirren today. Could there be a different winner of the Scottish Premiership? Listen, we're all rooting for Hearts in that sense. I think we're all Hearts. We'd all like to see a different winner. Bromley are 1-0 up against Salford. And Crewe are now 2-0 down at home against Chesterfield. Gresty Road not being a happy hunting ground for Crewe this season either. Fleetwood 1, Shrewsbury 0. Swindon 2, Grimsby 1. Goals flying in Leagues 2 and 1. He's been a shocking signing for Forest, Sangare, you know. Daniel, Coventry's game today was a roller coaster. I'm soaked through, but happy with the 3 points. I was gonna say I thought the West Brom sending off was a bit brainless, wasn't it? I saw I can't remember who it was actually who said it was absolutely ridiculous sending off, and it's massively cost West Brom in a big moment where they were 2-0 up. They could have gone and got that win against Coventry. That changes the game, doesn't it? MC playing okay here. Great if Isak could get a goal. Listen, it'd be great if anyone could get a goal. We just need a goal in the game. Let's get in front. It doesn't matter. It can go in off someone's arse. I don't mind. We just need to score. Anyone. These games after an international break are the worst. Edge of the box. Chance for Curtis. Unlucky. FCB. Why did you get into Liverpool? You're not from Liverpool. Well, I was born in Wiston. L postcode, mate. L postcode. So I was born in Liverpool City at least. But or Liverpool region, Liverpool City region. But yeah, no, the reason I support Liverpool is because my dad supported Liverpool, and you tend to support who your dad supported. Liverpool, he went and watched pretty much every game home and away from 1972 onwards. So when I was born in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was time to take me to football matches, it was only going to be to one place. But my granddad's a blue, my dad's a red. Lots of other blues in the family, lots of other reds in the family. I was only ever going to be one or the other. And yeah, Liverpool won out. Killooney, Hearts all the way. I'd like Hearts to win the SPL, yeah. Daniel, 1 metre from the referee and almost removed Torp's arm when he ran past him. Crawley 0, Accrington 1. Come on. We need to do better in the final third here because we're picking the ball up in some good positions. Salah is having a better game today. His use of the ball is better, but we can't really break him down. It feels like we're lacking Do you know what we are missing? Honestly, I do feel like we're missing Frimpong. Or we're missing some sort of an overlap on that right-hand side. Oxford 1, Middlesbrough 0. Yes! Get them Borough out of the Premier League. Honestly, no chance. We don't want Borough in the Premier League. Well done, Oxford. Come on. Oxford 1-0 up against the Borough. Paul Hexham says Isak's head still in Newcastle, in my opinion. I just think his whole body's somewhere else because he's not been fit at all since he's been here. Poor fella. But I think once we... I mean, look, nobody doubts Isak's quality. I just think it's a case of getting him fit and, yeah, we need to get him in the right system. Killooney says you lost this game last year. We did, yeah. And the year before that, it was 3-2. It was a very close game. So, yeah, Forest and Anfield have got a decent record in the last couple of years. 3-star Reds, I can understand the Liverpool link with your dad, Key. Tried to get my dad to support Forest instead of Derby, but the language from him, God bless him, it was never on the cards. Yeah, I mean, that tends to be... In my opinion, anyway, that's the most common team that you support, isn't it? It's who your dad supports. That's how you end up. That's how you get assigned a team. It's a penalty to Brentford at Brighton. I said a couple of minutes ago that Brentford had gone 1-0 up and the goal had been disallowed. Well, now they've got a penalty and they've scored it as well. Brighton 0, Brentford 1. Thiago with the penalty again. Another penalty for Thiago. 1-0, Brentford. There you go. And Scottish GHK, I've got a mate who's a Cov supporter and his wife is even more devoted. I would love it if they get up. Do you know what? In spite of everything, I know he had a really bad season last year in terms of injuries, but everyone gave Brentford stick. And when I say everyone, I mean people maybe who wanted to give Brentford stick. Brentford's rivals, you know, down in that little zone around London, within the M25, gave Brentford stick for a big signing of Igor Thiago. Came in from Belgium, big fee, and he got injured straight away. He did his cruciate, didn't he? Or he did his ACL, I think it was. And was his ACL or his... I don't know if it was anterior or posterior. He did one of his ACLs, or he did a cruciate of some sort. And... he was out for pretty much most of the season. He's come back this season, and now they're getting the player that they signed over 12 months ago, and he's done really well, hasn't he? What a run this is from Gakpo. Chance, unlucky. Better, much, much better. Daniel, it's all pointing towards a Forest win, and I am Crute. I was stuck because neither of my parents liked football. Sobersley. Oh, nearly. Very nearly. Big deflection. Unlucky. And Joe says, me and my dad are Geordies, but the rest of our family are Mackhams. Roses in between thorns, aren't you, mate? That's what it is. I am Crute. The Jordan Henderson signing has gone criminally under the radar for them. That's, yeah, very true. Again, Brentford making good waves in the transfer market, I think. Ball whipped in. It's gone behind. And I am Crute says, my aunt was a Liverpool fan. I had to choose between Liverpool and Chelsea. Semi-final 2005. Decided I said I'd support the winner. Oh, Christ. What a game to base that on. And Joe, Brentford do the Moneyball strategy for their transfers. Look into it. Brighton do a little bit the same, as do Bournemouth, don't they? I think there is a little bit of that. Salah hanging it up, unlucky. We're starting to dominate though, Liverpool. We are starting to dominate, and we're starting to come into the game a lot more, and it feels like Liverpool are in in a good patch, but you've got to be really, really careful. You've got to be very, very cautious. The way Forest play, inevitably Forest are one of those teams, aren't they? We saw it against Man United. The game against United was a typical example of how Forest play. United were probably the better side in the opening 30 minutes or whatever. They take the lead, and then bang, straight after half time, Forest 2-1. 2 goals. But yeah. Corner ball. Oh, no, not this. No. Oh, come on. Why? This is grim. We've been the better side. Oh, come on. We've literally been the better side. We started so well in this first half, and then all of a sudden, just a crappy set piece. Oh, it's such a spawny goal as well. It's so undeserved. So undeserved. And yet again, Liverpool playing well, go a goal down. Unjust. What can you say about that? And Slot's not happy. Slot is not happy. Let's have a look at this one back, because it looks to me like a really, really simple goal, and we maybe should have done a bit better defensively. The ball comes in off the corner. The first header, don't think you get a chance of clearing that one away. Do you know what? It's just unlucky, innit? It's just unlucky. It just falls to Murillo, and it's a good strike through a load of bodies. Is there a question that maybe... Oh, hey! Whoa, what about him? What about him in front of Alisson? Hey, what about him in front of Alisson? Are we going to have a check? Oh, hey, hang on a minute. There you go. Prime example. Fell in front of Alisson. Stood in front of Alisson. The exact same as Andy Robertson. Oh, of course it's a goal. Yeah, absolutely. Of course it's a goal. No problem. Yeah, definitely a goal, that. Definitely a goal. He stood in front of Alisson. Let's watch this back. Is he off? He's offside! He's offside! He's offside. He stood in front of Alisson. That's exactly the same as the Andy Robertson goal. That is exactly the same. Absolutely shocking. There you go. What a surprise. The week after. Literally the game week after. No problem at all. Fuck yeah. I tell you what. This is absolutely... This is sickening. It's sickening. Do you know what? You have to laugh. You have to laugh to stop. It's just enraging. It's infuriating. How is that given? If Andy Robertson's is ruled out, that one's given. Player offside, stood in front of the keeper, makes a deliberate movement. Hey, and I'm not arguing, the goal would have gone in even if that player wasn't there. So would Andy Robertson's. That was apparently not an issue last week. Oh... It's absolutely shocking. Yet again. Shocking. No way. That one's defo ruled out. That one's definitely ruled out. That one's definitely ruled out. Please say that's ruled out. It was nearly 2-0. It was nearly 2-0. That one's got to be ruled out. The first one should have been ruled out. The second one's got to be ruled out. The first one should have been ruled out. The first one has to be ruled out. Oh, of course they're going to check this one. Oh, I tell you what, if they give this now, that's offside, that's a handball as well. That's offside, handball, whatever. Either way, that one has to be ruled out. The first one should have been, and the second one should have been. And now the second one is. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. It's offside. The first one is offside. The second one looks like it's clear handball. It's a handball. He gains a benefit from it. Look at that. It's off his hand. It's off his hand. What more do you want? Why are we wasting so long checking this? It's clear as day. It's clear as day. Why are you checking it? It's 1-0. And it should be 0-0. Goal chalked off. Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you. We get that one, no problem. Fucking shithouses, honestly. It's unbelievable, this. Ridiculous. Can we all just admit now? Can we just acknowledge that there is clearly an issue in the Premier League and Liverpool have had the brunt of it? Liverpool have definitely had the brunt of it. All teams get bad decisions, I get that. This season, Liverpool have definitely had the brunt of it. 100%. We had it the brunt last season, we got it this season as well. Disgusting. And in all that as well, Bournemouth are now 2-0 down against West Ham. Honor Permo says, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened very, very clearly. Oh, what's happening here? Is he going to book Arne Slot here? Is he going to actually book Arne Slot here for saying something? Oh no, he's booking the Forest assistant. What a surprise. Who is it he's booking there? Ian Woan. Yeah, Woan's getting booked, as he should. As he should. Get him off. Get him off the pitch. I'll tell you what happened. Coming back to it, I'll tell you what happened. It was very, very clear what happened. The first thing that happened was that the exact same thing that Andy Robertson got Van Dijk got a goal chalked off for last week against City. The exact same thing that happened in this game at Nottingham Forest goal, and it stood. The exact same thing. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. The exact same thing happened, and it stood. So there you go. We didn't have to wait. We didn't have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months. We didn't have to wait that long. It was the very next game. The very next game. And the exact same thing happens to Liverpool. And listen, the rival fans will laugh. The rival fans will be delighted because it's funny. Because Liverpool have had it chalked off last week and then the exact same thing it's been given against us this week. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious from a rival fan's perspective until it happens to them. And that's what's going to be the overarching message here, is it'll happen to you eventually. But Liverpool are getting it right now. And do you know what? It's so annoying. It's so annoying. He was miles offside. Clearly offside. What the fucking hell is that? What was that, Salah? I could have farted on the ball. It would have moved for more than that. That's a ridiculous effort. Come on, we've got to get back into this. This absolute. We can't be losing against Forest. John Long, 450 million for this shite, relying on VAR like always. Scumbags of a football team. Hang on a minute. Relying on VAR. We're not relying on VAR. He's offside. Look at his left foot. His left foot there. His left boot is offside. And he stood directly in front of Alisson. It's the exact same thing as the Andy Robertson goal. It's the exact same thing. Exactly the same. Killooney, Gunners got it last year. You're getting it this year. Gunners didn't get it worse than us last year. No chance. Not a chance. Josh, there's no consistency, mate. That's the irritating thing. That's it. And that's exactly the frustrating point, isn't it? Because if they give the goal against Man City last week and it's 1-1, Liverpool might go on and get a win in that. We might get a point in that. If they give that goal this week, we couldn't have had any complaints, could we? Because we'd have probably said, you know what, that's fair enough. Listen, there'll still be Liverpool fans who would have had a pop at it. But you would have absolutely gone, well, that's fair enough because we got the goal last week. This week, it's exactly the same. Like I said, it's so annoying. MC, not the same as the Robertson goal. Robertson wasn't in the eye line of the keeper. Well, exactly, yeah. But and he was. And he was, so if anything, it's worse than the Robertson goal, isn't it? It's just laughable. So, elsewhere across the Premier League, by the way, it's Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2, Brighton 0, Brentford 1, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, Wolves 0, Palace 0. Daniel, the international break hasn't helped Liverpool. It never does, though. We always struggle. Historically, we've always struggled after international breaks. And that was the same under Klopp. It's the same under Slot. Timbo, Bournemouth are the most streaky team in the league, I swear. And SLS, Liverpool. It's so depressing. Swindon 2, Grimsby 2. Doctor Who Mania says second goal definitely should have stood. I don't see how you can give that as handball, whereas the Liverpool of last year, it's completely dysfunctional. What we saying, Scottish GHK, petition for Key to be a... I said that, petition for Key to be a VAR official with audio. Thank you for that, Scottish GHK, thank you. Me to be a VAR official, I think you'd get a little bit more consistency than you're getting, put it that way. And do you know what? I feel a little bit sorry for some referees because it does feel like they've got their hands tied with certain things that they can't, you know, use context and nuance and maybe... But a lot of them simply just don't understand the game. You can tell that a lot of them are last picked at PE in school. Last picked, you know, he's the kid who has to go in goal. That sort of kid, and therefore maybe they have to... They pick refereeing as a lifelong opportunity to just have a little bit of power, a little bit of authority. What is Salah doing, honestly? Patton Daka's put Leicester 2-0 up against Stoke. And Daniel says Liverpool are 10th in the live table. Timbo, maybe they'll finish 10th and win the Champions League. Possibly. MC says, sorry, Key, but Kanate is having a shocker. Is he? Is he having a shocker? I mean, as far as I can see, mate, we've had one chance given against us that shouldn't have been given against us. What's he having a shocker with? Forest haven't troubled us, really. Apart from that one opportunity off a set piece, and you're not blaming Kanate for that. Kanate having a shocker, that's excessive. Come on, people. Again, what happens is this is absolutely typical of Liverpool fans. Liverpool go a goal behind, and they immediately look, oh my God, this player's having an absolute shocker. It's just not the case. It's just not the case. Right, it's 5 minutes, by the way. 5 minutes is the added on time in the end of the first half. Wolves, Palace is half-time, 0-0 at Molineux. Barnsley now 3-0 up against Luton. Three-Star Red says, where did you get the Premier League trophy behind you? I want a European Cup replica if the company sell them. I'll have a look for you and see if they do. I think they do a European Cup. If they do, I'll put it in the next stream. I'll find out. Timbo, Isak's been anonymous. Wouldn't have known he's playing. I mean, to be honest, we're not even getting the ball anywhere near him. So... Again, I don't think it's necessarily anything to do with Isak. We've not had the ball's not come anywhere near him. Like, to an extent, you could have Haaland up there. You could have Erling Haaland up there. It doesn't matter if you're not getting the ball to him. What do you want? Paul says someone selling all the big cups on TikTok plus World Cup. Here's Isaac. That's better from Isaac. And Curtis Jones loses it. Honestly. Just so frustrating. MC shepherded the ball out of play for a Forest throw in our third when it clearly came off Szoboszlai. Alright, well, he must be having a shit. That's definitely worth saying he's had a shit game then. He shepherded the ball out of play. Alright, yeah. Shit game. Shocking. He's having an absolute nightmare, isn't he? Brentford up to 5th as it stands, says Liam. See, that, do you know what? There's just not an awful lot that you'd expect any centre-forward to do with the quality that we're putting into the box. It's been poor. It's just been really poor. We started, the first half an hour, it felt like we were building a bit of momentum, and I think what we're seeing is goals change games, and goals have changed games. That's what's happened. A goal that shouldn't have stood has been given, and it's changed the game. That's what's happened. Ginga says, it doesn't rain, it pours for Liverpool at the minute. Cheers, Ginga, thank you. And Timbo, is Gay the answer for Liverpool? Sign him and this goes away, or is the problem bigger than that? The problem isn't bigger than that, it's different to that. I don't think a centre-back solves anything here. It doesn't. Do you know what the thing is? Right, this is where you can tell it's either rivals willfully misinterpreting it, or people who just don't understand. There's nothing wrong per se with Liverpool's personnel. Like, no one would reasonably argue that Liverpool have the 10th or 11th or 12th, wherever we are. No one would argue that this is a bottom half squad or a bottom half first team. It just isn't. This is the team that pissed the league title last year. It's just not. It's not the case. There's a lot of quality in this squad, but what we've got are a lot of new players, and they're still trying to adapt. So I don't think it is a personnel issue. I think maybe you can always do with some better players, and a couple of new faces wouldn't hurt. But I don't necessarily think it gets solved overnight by, oh, let's sign this player, let's get rid of this player and sign this player. That's football manager talk. That's FIFA knobheads. That's FIFA knobheads thinking, oh yeah, we'll change this player for that player and it just ticks everything, it's fine. Nah, no chance. Don't work like that. Mank Red, but it's not the same team, is it? No, it's not the same team, and that is the problem. That's what I'm saying. It isn't the same team, and this is the problem. The players that have come in, would anyone have said that Isaac an awful centre forward? Is players? I mean, Ekatike has got praise from everyone this season. Is Florian Wirtz dreadful? No. These signed Kirkes, PFA Team of the Year. These are not bad players who we brought in. No one's arguing that they're bad players, and if you do, then maybe watch a bit of football. There's no one arguing that these are bad players. Nobody. Just that they are a bad fit, and that's fair enough, and it is a bad fit right now. But it's very unlikely that when you throw in a lot of new players all at once that they all just click instantaneously. It doesn't happen like that with anyone. Right, so second half, what do we think? Do we make any changes at half time? That's going to be the big question. Is there any changes that Liverpool make at half time? What are we saying, sorry? Scottish GHK Liverpool fans, as one of them, need to remember that that football is supposed to be a roller coaster. That's what keeps people interested. VAR has thrown a spanner onto the track of that ride. And it's done it for us. I would argue it's done it for us more than most teams, if not more than every team in the Premier League. In terms of the big decisions in the big games, yes, we have been absolutely battered by VAR, and we've done it again today. We've done it last week against City. We've done it again here today. That goal shouldn't stand. There's just no way around it. Pup says almost 2-1 to Livingston. Rangers playing some kamikaze defending. Mank says, I think certain players suit different styles and don't fit at certain clubs. So which one doesn't fit our style? Or which players, if you're saying two, don't fit our style? Because I don't necessarily think that's the case. I just feel like we've not even settled on a style yet. If anything, Liverpool are still experimenting with styles. And that's what happens again when you bring in lots of new players. You can't bring them in and be like, well, what we're going to do is we're going to play this specific way, and then if it doesn't work, we have to, I think he's got a flexible idea of how he plays football, Arne Slot. He got credit for that last year, didn't he? Gary Neville was coming out and, just couldn't give Slot enough praise last season on the overlap when he was saying things like, do you know what, we have like Pep Guardiola who plays like tiki-taka, and you've got, Klopp who does this like gegenpress 4-3-3 style, and then you've got Slot who is a very... He changes. I've looked at him mid-game and I've seen him have like 3-4 different systems. Sometimes they'll play 4-4-2 for 10 minutes and then they'll change to 4-3-3 and then they'll go 5 at the back. And they constantly change system at Liverpool. And I think that's what we're seeing again here. I think this season he's brought a lot of new players in and he's now trying to see exactly how they all fit together. Daniel says, Vert isn't a good player if you take him out of Germany. Again, I don't believe you believe that, Daniel. You're a smart guy. I don't believe you believe that. Nobody would argue that Florian Wirtz isn't one of the best centred attacking midfielders in world football. And if you offered, if you said to every sporting director in the world right now, you can have Florian Wirtz right now, you can have him for 100 million quid. You can have him what Liverpool paid for him. I guarantee you there'd be a queue round the block for him. There would be a queue round the block. City would want him. I think Arsenal would quite happily take him. They'd swap him out for Odegaard, no problem. I think Real Madrid would want him again. Alonso would certainly want him back at with him. Bayern Munich would die for Florian Wirtz. They were gutted when they didn't get him. So every top team in Europe would want Florian Wirtz for the money we paid for him. And I just think it's time. That's all we're seeing. Mank Red with Isak, I don't think he fits. But we haven't seen any evidence of that. We haven't seen him playing. How many games has Isak played for us? The guy's barely played a 90 minutes for us. Like, you've got to give... Surely you've got to give time. Unless, again, if you're trying to have a wind-up or whatever, that's fine. That's no problem. But if you're actually wanting an actual civil, logical discourse on it, a reasonable discussion... Nobody's arguing that Alexander Isak is a bad fit for Liverpool or is a bad player based off what we've seen. When Liverpool signed him, everyone was saying, oh my God, they've signed Isak, Liverpool are going to walk the league. And now, what? He's been injured for a while, he's not really been in the side, so he's a bad player, he's a bad fit. Nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. FCB says, what do you think Slot will say in the changing room? He'll have a right good go at the lads. Will he though? I mean, looking at the performance that we've seen in that first half, it's frustrating from an attacking sense. The fact that we're a goal down, I'm not actually that concerned. It's obviously concerning that we're a goal down, but I don't think it's the performance. Like, defensively, I'm not massively concerned. The goal shouldn't have stood. The goal should not have stood. So, we're a goal down. We shouldn't be a goal down, but it's off a set piece. It was a bit of a lucky deflection how it landed at the feet of Murillo, and it's a good finish. It's a really good finish. Sometimes you can't really stop goals like that, and whichever way you want to dress it up, it shouldn't have been given anyway. But the point is, Liverpool are a goal down. Forest haven't had a huge amount of chances. Liverpool also haven't had a huge amount of chances, but we've had enough to have scored one, and we haven't taken it. So, will Slot have a pop at the players? Possibly, but I don't think it'll be for you're not working hard enough or anything like that. I think it'll be, take your chances, lads. You're going to have to keep doing what you're doing, but take your chances. You know, you're going to have to be a lot tighter at the back, and they're going to be a lot harder to break down. But when the chance comes, we've got to take it. That's the problem with Liverpool this season, and that's been a case for us against United. It was the case for us against Chelsea. Both games we deserved to win, but we lost those games because we didn't take our chances. That's the point, and that's football at the end of the day, isn't it? Carl says the handball shouldn't have been given either, simple as. But it hits his hand. It hits his hand. How can it not be given? How can it not be given? It hits his hand. Of course it's a handball. If the ball hits your hand, whether it's intentional or not, and then you score, it's handball. The handball's non-negotiable. It was. It hit his hand. He controlled the ball with his hand. That from here down is his hand, right? If you control the ball with that, it's handball, whichever way you want to dress it up. I am crude says Gakpo hit the post 3 times, but he did, yeah. He did. And Kerfree says, can't say you deserve to win and VAR are against you every time you lose a game, mate. That's not the case. No, I've said plenty of times when Liverpool have lost games, we've been pretty poor. In many... Chelsea. Crystal Palace. We was 1-1 going into the 96th minute. We should have lost that game. We didn't. If we'd have got a point out of that game, it would have been daylight robbery. Absolute daylight robbery. Kian says that back line is going to cost us big style. How could Slot say we need other areas more than a centre-back? What do you on about, centre-back? As if centre-back changes this scoreline right now. If you put Mark Gay in this side, it doesn't change this scoreline. What are people talking about? It doesn't change anything about this scoreline. If you put Mark Gay alongside Van Dijk today, it's still 1-0 Forest. Because you've still got a divvy official who gives a goal that shouldn't have stood. MC, how can you not see Konaté is having a shocker? That second goal should have been allowed. Konaté's fault. It's Ball's fault. It's Ball's fault. It hits his hand. He controls the ball with his arm or his hand, whichever way you want to dress it out. And it's a handball. That's exactly what the rule's there for. You can't control the ball with your arm and then stick it in the net. The rules are there for a reason. Papa John's, is Ekatike around? He is, yeah. Ekatike is on the bench. And Josh says, I've been saying for weeks, sack him. Josh, you're talking... Mate, Josh, I like you a lot, mate. But if you're saying sack Arne Slot, you are respectfully talking out your ass. You are talking out your ass. If you want Arne Slot sacked, you are having a laugh. You're having a laugh. People who are saying sack Slot... We're never going to get on the same page, and I think most Liverpool... And that seems to be only, you know, the social Liverpool fans, the online Liverpool fans. What I would consider to be proper Liverpool fans would not ever be saying, sack Arne Slot. They just wouldn't. They wouldn't. No one's saying sack Slot. At this point in the season, you are having a laugh if you're saying sack Slot. Kira says, why aren't you crying about referee's decision today? But I am. I am crying about the referee's decision. I'm saying the referee has got a major decision wrong. Yet again. I absolutely am crying about it. Kean says Konaté's been sloppy the whole game. It makes the team better organised and potentially the corner never happening in the first place. You're clutching at straws. Konaté not being on the pitch and Gay being in there does not change the result. It just doesn't. Marky, I need to work for VAR. Oh my God, they're shocking and the studio don't have a clue either. It's very true. Very, very true. Joe, right, Key, I'll catch you later. I'm off to the game. Take it easy, mate. Enjoy the game. I'll be live for for Newcastle later on against Man City. That's what Joe's going to St James's Park. Says, sorry, M8799, we struggle at creating chances. The players need to stop playing it safe, in my opinion. That I would absolutely agree with, and that is something that Slot 100% will be saying to the players. You need to take more chances. Let's be a bit braver on the ball. You know, you've got the ability. We know we can pick the ball up and get past the player. Let's do it. Far too often we're playing it safe and we're trying to, yeah, just passing it backwards far too much. I'd love to see what the stats are. I'll have a look at full time to see what our percentage of backwards passes have been in this game, because it's far too many. Adam says, should Ekitike be the starter and Isak the substitute, or would you play both? I think the long-term plan is that we play both, but I don't think that Ekitike starting today again makes any difference. I don't think if the ball's not coming to Isak, it ain't coming to Ekitike. So, with the best will in the world, I don't think Isak has been involved in the game, but I don't think that's his fault. I would expect our wide players to do a little bit better. I think Gakpo and Salah have been quite safe in their use of the ball, and I think the midfield, Curtis Jones hasn't had a good game. I saw someone in the chat earlier say that Szoboszlai back into midfield. I would absolutely agree with that. I think that should be the first thing that Slot does. It would be bring Joe Gomez on, put Szoboszlai back into midfield for Curtis Jones. That would be the smart thing. Or, do you know what? Fuck it. Ekitike on for Curtis Jones and keep things as they are, but put Ekitike up front in a 4-4-2. McAllister, Gravenberch in the middle. Let's go for a 4-4-2. We might get dominated in the midfield because they got 4 central midfielders on basically in Gibbs White and Dominguez and Sangare and the other fella. They've got plenty of central midfielders in there. But I feel like Liverpool are going to have to do something to really push it and to take some risks. And by the way, that is going to involve Liverpool leaving gaps at the back. That doesn't mean if Liverpool get punished, if we concede a second, it's going to be frustrating. But you've got to take chances. We've gone a goal down, and we shouldn't be a goal down, but we've gone a goal down through very little fault of our own, and all of a sudden, that's going to leave us with massive gaps on the counter. Scottish GHK, I think Josh is on a session. It's reactionary nonsense. I'm glad there's not just me seeing that, mate. Thank you. I appreciate that. Evertonian, are you listening to the game? I'm not. I'm watching the game, mate. Jared, we should be 2 goals down. Why should we be 2 goals down? Why should we be 2 goals down? Carl, you didn't defend the corner properly. That's why you conceded from it. No, that's not true. That's not true. That isn't the case. Shea losing a Genki. What's going on? You'll see. You'll see when you watch it back, mate. Their goal shouldn't have stood. Very simple. Their goal shouldn't have stood. Their goal absolutely should never have stood. Never ever. MC, Arky, it's not no fault of our own. Officials may have made a mistake but need to defend the corner. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. But if you look at the corner, that the officials had nothing to do with the corner. The corner being given, I absolutely agree we need to defend the corner. But the corner comes in, they get a flick on, and I think it hits one of ours, doesn't it? It's kind of like a ping pong a little bit. It hits one of theirs and then hits one of ours and somehow lands at the feet of Murillo. I mean, with the bet, that's unlucky. That's unfortunate. It falls at his feet and it's a really good. Somehow gets his feet together and sticks it in the bottom corner. It's a good goal. It's a good finish, but it shouldn't have stood. It should not have stood. If the exact same law that was applied last week with Andy Robertson and Manchester City, if the exact same thing is applied, that goal is disallowed because there is a Forest player stood smack bang in front of Alisson. You can't give it. You just can't. You cannot give it if Alisson is blocked in the same way that apparently Donnarumma was, even though Robertson was stood 4 foot to his left. That one, he was stood smack bang in front of Alisson and he was offside. So it shouldn't have been a goal. So it should be, by rights, it should be 0-0 right now. And we've kicked off for the second half here now. Let's get going. Come on, Liverpool. Back into it. Back into it. Rest of the Premier League, by the way, is Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2, Brighton 0, Brentford 1, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, and Wolves 0, Palace 0. Oh. We just need to get our act together a little bit because it's so frustrating that it keeps going against us. We started the game well and it keeps going against us. These big decisions. Forrest are in. Keep them out! Fucking what's going on again? It's 2-0. This is shocking. Right, this one fair enough. This one fair enough. The first goal shouldn't have stood. The second one, I have no idea what we're doing here. I have absolutely no idea what we're doing here. It's 2-0 to Forest. Come on, Liverpool. Fucking hell, this is... Really? Really? The ball gets played in. It's so simple. Who is that? Oh, it's Alexis McAllister. It's Alexis McAllister who goes in for that. Oh, McAllister. Right, McAllister needs dropping. Full stop. Get him off the pitch. Honestly, he's been shite all season, Alexis McAllister. The only good thing he's done all season is that Real Madrid goal. He has been dog shit. Put me in midfield, I'd do a better job than Alexis McAllister. He's been crap. He's been absolutely crap. Shocking. Honestly, but do you know what? But still, I've still got to say, at the end of the day, as bad as a bad a goal as that is to concede, it still doesn't happen if we don't fucking get the goal conceded in the first half. We come out in a different way. Slot out. Fuck off. Fuck off, Slot out. Don't talk shite. Slot out. I've never heard such nonsense. Absolute shite. Slot out. Get a life. Get a grip. Slot out. Talking absolute fucking turbo horse shit. See, on all the people saying Slot out, again, these are rival fans. There's no proper Liverpool fan wants Slot out. Nobody. Forest in 17th as it stands with this one. Josh, who's winning the North London Derby key? Fucking hell, I hope Spurs. I hope Spurs, but I couldn't give a toss anyway. City will win the league. Them bottle jobs aren't winning the league. Ball put in, unlucky. Come on. Come on. Got to get one back early. Three-star Reds, concentration. Forest, concentration. To be honest, mate, I don't think you'll need concentration the way we're playing. We need 14 clear chances and we need fucking 19 defenders on the pitch, evidently, to keep it out. But again, it's not been a good start to the second half. I don't know what more you can say other than that, but it's still, I'm still saying the same thing that I said against Manchester City. It's the exact same thing as against Manchester City. Two things can be true at once. The performance has been poor, but the referees let us down. It's the exact same thing yet again. It's the exact same thing. Performance is poor, referee lets us down. McAllister, if McAllister's going in for that ball, he has to win it. It's so poor from McAllister. Absolutely dire from Alexis McAllister. And honestly, he's been dreadful this season. Absolute turbo gash all season. Shouldn't be on the pitch. Maybe it's the fact that he's come from Argentina and he's been playing with the Argentine national side. He's been away with them, travelled the other side of the world. He shouldn't have played. Shouldn't be playing him. QPR 2, Hull 2. 3-Star Red says, this is the win we want going into 2 winnable games before Christmas. Portsmouth 2, Millwall 0, and Oxford 1, Borough 1. Whittaker, Morgan Whittaker's just scored. Ekitike getting warmed up. I think he's about to come on for Liverpool. I'm not entirely sure what Ekitike does, because the issue for us has been getting the ball through the midfield areas. We've been really, really poor at penetrating Forest. Alisson, nice and easy. And again, we can't string 2 passes together. The ball's down the right-hand side here with Forest. Every single time. I can't tell you how bad it's been this second half. 6 minutes in already. We're still in the dressing room. We are still in the fucking dressing room. BXD should have kept the money for Isak and give it to the ref. Well, evidently someone's giving some money to the ref the way he gave that first Forest goal. The first Forest goal should never have stood. So someone's giving money to the fucking ref. DS7, if they walk out of here with 3 points, this guy has to be sacked. You're talking shite, mate. With the greatest of respect. In the nicest possible way. You're talking out your arse. If you want Arne Slot sacked, you are talking out your arse. Arne Slot could finish 7th this season and he keeps his job. 8th. I'd still want him as Liverpool manager if we were finishing 8th. And we won't finish 8th, but if we did, I'd be quite happy to keep him. Quite happy. Doctor Who Mania, if you lose this game, is it time to sack Slot? Fucking hell, honestly. A lot of the fan base are calling for him to be sacked, even though he managed to win a league title in his first year. Listen, nobody in the fan base is calling for him to be sacked. Nobody. The only ones who are either 13 and don't remember watching Liverpool before they were a really good side, or, I don't know, maybe they've got single-digit IQ. I have no idea. But either way, there's absolutely no way at all that anyone with any sort of experience watching any level of football would want Arne Slot sacked. Nobody. Nobody. AL90, he won it with Klopp's team. Exactly. And that's a big plus for him, isn't it? That's a massive plus. He came in and took over a team that Jurgen Klopp couldn't win the league with. It was just someone else's team. He didn't even get to make it his own team. He came on, took over someone else's team and won the league with it. Nobody else has done that. The guy has done something unprecedented in Premier League history. Absolutely unprecedented. Won the league in his first season. Teaching Tony, who am I betting on, Premier League dad? Well, anyone but us at this moment, Tony. Anyone but us. Although, to be honest, how much are we? Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see how much we are at this moment in time. 55 minutes on the clock. How much are Liverpool to win from here? What odds can you get? I bet it's no more than 3. 8-1! Fucking hell! That's decent value. I'll get on that. Kanate off for Ekitike. That's a surprising change. I imagine that means Gravenberg's going back to centre-back. And again, we've now got 2 of our midfield in the defence. That's going to be something that Slot gets criticised for. Now, I'm not saying he deserves criticism, but if Liverpool don't end up getting something out of this game, now, after he's now got Gravenberg and Szoboszlai in the back 4. That is absolutely something Liverpool fans will point to and say, why have we got 2 midfielders in defence? Liverpool have absolutely no chance of coming back to win against a Dyche team when 2-0 down. Hey, listen, if anyone can, then it's Liverpool. If anyone can. Tell you what, this referee can't wait to blow his whistle, though. He absolutely can't wait to blow his whistle. 3-star Red says, Forest are not a weak team. Why would Slot be sacked after defeat today if it stays? Thanks. And 3-star Reds, 8-1. That's Tolga odds key. Tell me about it. 8-1. It's worth a monkey, that, innit? Doctor Who mania, but look at the style of play, key. It's gotten worse, and even as a United fan, we were this bad last season. But do you know what, though? I think style of play, again, the style of play has changed because the players have changed. The personnel has changed, and it had to change. So, I don't think you can put that on Slot. You can't blame Slot for 4 players. Basically, one due to age, one due to the end of his contract, one due to dying in a horrific tragedy. Like, you can't blame Arne Slot for these things. We were forced to change a big chunk of our team, and therefore, we're a little bit all over the place. Notts County 1, Colchester 2. Palace have just scored against Wolves. Molineux not looking as tight as maybe Rob Edwards would have liked it on his debut. Yeah, Wolves 0, Palace 1. Who scored it? Daniel Munoz with the goal. On a Permo, the amount of players bought, it was essentially a rebuild. Exactly. A total rebuild. Northampton 1, Cardiff 2. Schneek says unprecedented except for Jose, Carlo Ancelotti, Pellegrini and Conte. Did any of them do it without spending any money? No, didn't think so. Wind your neck in, dickhead. Slot won league down to Klopp's team. You could see as soon as he started to change, it was doomed. He won the league with Klopp's team, which no other manager has done, yeah? Just to clarify. He didn't need... Every time a new manager comes in, what's the old cliches that they trot out? The old cliches they trot out is always the same. He needs a bit of time. He needs to put his own stamp on the team. He needs to, get his own players in. Yeah, all that stuff that they say about every new manager when they come into any new team, let alone a title-winning one. Every new team, as soon as a new manager comes in, that stuff gets said. Slot didn't get the chance to do that, still won the league, and this year he's now doing it. So I'm saying, my argument is that he should be afforded that time now. That's the point. '92 FC says, don't worry, it will be a draw, and Jose didn't spend that much net in his second reign, to be fair. Yeah, but he still had to change it, didn't he? He still had to change it when he came in. DC, no key, no other manager has won the league with a Klopp team. No other manager has won the league with someone else's team. That's the point. No other manager has won the league with someone else's team. And Alex says, it's a rebuild, you're not going to gel straight away. And AFC says, Rice saying, if Arteta wins the league, he should go down as one of the greats. Listen, Declan Rice has got his nose so far up that guy's backside. I don't know why. For a manager who's won sod all, it's crazy, isn't it? That Palace goal's gone to VAR. It might be getting ruled out, Hutchinson's coming on for Dominguez, I think. So Forest now trying to stretch Liverpool on the counter-attack. Going to put a little bit of pace up there, I think. FSB says the biggest spend in a single window in Prem history. Correct, yeah. Very true. DC says surely Ranieri done it without spending much. Ranieri? Ranieri didn't win a league title, did he? At Leicester, apart from that, but even still, I was thinking, I thought you were still on about Chelsea. Ranieri won it at Leicester, but Ranieri spent a fair bit. Yeah, Ranieri was there the year before. Ranieri spent... Who was the fella they signed? What's his name now? I can see his name. Leicester, they won it in 2015-16, wasn't it? So it'd be 2014-15. Who did they spend? It was the year before. That was Nigel Pearson, wasn't it? No, here we go. The summer, wasn't it? Who was it they signed in the summer? What's his name? Yeah, Okazaki, not Okazaki. The other fella. DC, I don't know much, but I'm assuming he wouldn't have spent much at Leicester. He still spent more than, put it this way, still spent more than what Slot did. He still spent far more than what Slot did. And by the way, I mean, look, that's still not someone else's team because he spent and brought in. In fact, I'll have a look. He still spent in loans in. He's brought in Nathan Dyer. He brought in Fuchs, Huth, Okazaki, Kante, Damari Gray, Amati, Everson, and Inler. He brought in like a full new team. Slot didn't get the chance to do that. The Palace goal it's gonna stand. It's still 1-0 at Molineux, by the way. Chucks and Woko says, wait, what? Who spent more than Slot? Ranieri in his first season at Leicester. Brought in more players, spent more. What we saying? Sorry, 3-star Red says, got to keep Liverpool honest. Key, Dyche has no other option. And Timbo says, Slot joined a Klopp team that got 82 points, got a similar points total, but won the league because everyone else fell off a bit, if we're being real. Listen, you can only beat who's in front of you. That's my point. He had the league wrapped up, and our players were getting pissed in April, March. Oh, claim for a penalty. Nah, you're not getting a penalty for that, Salah. Never getting a penalty for that. Never getting a penalty for that. Too easy. Scottish GHK says it's a rebuild. You move into a house when the foundation is set. Building takes time. Otherwise, we'd have a boring league. It's very true. Very, very true. And Honor Permo says Salah is having an all-timer shiter this season, though. I mean, that's harsh as well. Penalty to Bournemouth now. Palace now 2-0 up. Yeah, I mean, Salah's not having a dreadful season. He's still got six goal contributions this season, which is the same as like Pedro Neto at Chelsea. He's got the same goal contributions as Mateta and Welbeck. These are players who are apparently having really good seasons. Salah's got that. So, and he's still playing. I mean, he might go ahead of him. Realistically, there's not many more people who've got more goal contributions than Salah this season. There's Semenyo, Thiago and Haaland. Oh, and João Pedro, I apologise. Other than that, Salah's up there. Pino's finally scored. Good result, that. Good goal for Palace. Match of the Stormer says sacked in the morning. Again, no, nobody believes that. Any Liverpool fan, seriously, this is the litmus test, right? This is the litmus test for any Liverpool fans who say, I want Slot sacked. You should immediately be muting him. And honestly, anyone on social media in the next couple of days, because you'll see them, they'll all come out, because they'll put the little rage bait shit out, right? And they'll all say, Slot out, Slot sacked, right? Anyone who puts that, they're waiting for you. They're waiting for you. They've got the bait out, and they're waiting to just reel you in. If you click on that and comment and like and share and talk about it, you're a moron. You're a moron. That's exactly what they want. Nobody, no Liverpool fan, no serious Liverpool fan wants Arne Slot sacked. None. Zero. Not a single one. None of them. There's not one. Not one legitimate Liverpool fan wants him sacked. Archie's football journey, Ranieri spent 58 million in his first season. He did, yeah. He did. More than Slot. Swifty, I said Salah looked on the slide a while ago. We're used to him being world class. I mean, yeah, but what I'm saying is that the argument that he's having a shit season is clearly not factual, is it? There's 3 players, maybe, who've had better goal contributions than him this season. So when we're talking about, no, everyone's saying Pedro Neto's having a great season for Chelsea. Salah's got the same number of goals and contributions as him. Timbo, Neto is playing well every week, though, in open play. I've not watched Salah every week, but no one's saying that about him. The difference, Timbo, is that Neto is not a world-class, game-changing, generational Premier League legend. He's not that player. So him stepping up and performing at that level is like, wow, he's doing well. He's improved, hasn't he? Whereas Salah, just dropping down that little level, everyone's saying, oh my God, because he broke the all-time Premier League record less than 6 months ago, right? Because he broke the record less than 6 months ago. Now he's not, there's maybe 2 or 3, 4 players who have just doing a little bit better than him at this stage of the season. All of a sudden, that's a shit season for Salah. And this is the rhetoric that you don't really want to be listening to, or it's just going to get people saying that stuff. I don't think you take them seriously. Personally, they're clearly rage bait, clearly click merchants, and clearly rival fans on the wind up. A draw, you said yesterday. How about Saints winning 5-1? I know, and you were 5-1 up at half-time as well. Do you think the manager gets the job? The interim manager. Liverpool making a couple of changes here. It's going to be Kirkes off for Robertson, Chiesa on for Isak. 25 minutes to go. Honestly, the game looks like it's fizzling out at this point. We don't look like we're scoring 1 goal, let alone 2. Nuka Pluto says the fact that Liverpool haven't drawn a single game but lost 6 is crazy. That's true. Do you think Salah should have left while he was at his peak? Will this season tarnish his legend? No, not at all. No, we should have kept him, and we did keep him, and I'm very glad we did keep him because he's one of the best players in the world, and you don't sell one of the best players in the world. But he's not having his best season, but he's also not having a bad season. So, again, people just need to look at it in context. Liverpool are having a bit of a drop-off. We've not had a great run. So, inevitably, you're going to get the clowns coming out and saying, Slot out, blah, blah. Yeah, no one takes them seriously. No one's taking them seriously. That's poor. That's really poor. Brighton 1, Brentford 1. MC says you are literally the only person who thought Konate coming off was a surprise. You would have made that change, would you? Konate for Ekitike? Yeah. Has Slot ever took a centre-back off for a centre-forward before? Doesn't happen, mate. That was the surprise. The surprise wasn't necessarily the person coming off. It was more the change. Ekitike for Konate it's an odd change. He's put Gravenberch at centre-back. He's put Szoboszlai at right-back. He's got two midfielders. Half of our defence are midfielders. So that's what he's going to get criticism for, because he's putting two midfielders in defence. So that's always going to be something that is going to rankle with people, because they're going to be seen as round pegs in square holes. Three-star Reds, hope you're right, Key. Cheers, mate. And on a permo, at least Andy Robertson still knows what it's like to be in a winning team in Scotland. That was rage bait. Oh, I know. I got it. Sonny says, have we even made any subs? We have made subs, yes. We've made subs. We've made a few subs. 4 subs now, I believe. Chiesa coming on for Isak. Ekitike for Kanate and Robertson on for Kirkes. But, yeah. Timbo, didn't Slot do that against Chelsea and put Gravenberch centre-back? I don't know. I don't think so. He might have done, but I don't think so. It didn't. Well, put it this way: it didn't stand out to me if he did. If he did, it wasn't when we were a goal down. I'm pretty sure it would have been at 1-1, wouldn't it, to try and go and win the game? But even then, I don't know. That's baffling. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I'll have a look. I don't think so. You've piqued my interest now. If we go back to the Chelsea game. No, Kanate came off for Curtis Jones. See, that's a little bit more of a mild one, isn't it? Curtis Jones coming in, midfielder for the defender, that's fair enough. An attacker for the defender is a little bit rogue. Yeah, Ekitike came on for Isak in that game. Swifty says, hardest thing after winning a title is motivating yourself to go again. Honestly, I don't think it is a lack of motivation, and I don't think it's an issue of personnel, and if I'm really honest, I don't even think it's anything to do with tactics. And that's an odd thing, because you would assume that it's one of those, but I don't think it is. I don't think the players are bad. The players haven't become bad overnight. I don't think the players have lost enthusiasm or motivation, although you could reasonably argue that they're grieving, and maybe it's the fact that they're grieving, and maybe it's the fact that they've lost a little bit of energy for the game. Maybe that's a factor, I don't know. But it's certainly not personnel, so I don't believe taking a player out and putting a player in would revolutionise this team. I just think it's time. I just think if you introduce a lot of new players into a team at once, you're gonna see chaos, and that's what we're seeing. Takes time. Martin Avery, so if it's not the players, the tactics, or the motivation, what is it? That's what I'm saying. It's time. It's time. That's what it is. It's the other factor. It's the time, and that's the nothing you can do about that. It's what happens when you introduce lots of new players into a squad in a short space of time. It takes time for them to gel and integrate and to work out the best system for them to all fit together. And I think that's where Liverpool are right now. Seabic, agreed. Here's Salah down the left-hand side. We still look miles off it. Honestly, we don't look like we're scoring one, let alone two. I'd snatch your hand off for a point. Andy Basis says, grief wasn't an issue in your first few games. Well, it might have been, to be fair. Liverpool got a lot of criticism in their first few games, didn't they? Liverpool were top of the league after up to September, weren't we? We started the season very, very well. But everyone was still saying Liverpool have been playing crap. Liverpool have been awful. Liverpool have been dreadful. So you can't say on one hand that it's just excuses FC and grief wasn't an issue in the first part of the season. Well, it certainly could have been. The performances weren't great, but the results were better. And to be honest, a lot of the results, people mention this quite frequently, a lot of the results in the first part of the season came late. They came from Salah with a late penalty at Burnley. They came with Rio Ngamoa, late winner at Forest. They came with Chiesa, late winner here against Bournemouth. This is the sort of stuff that Liverpool got stick for in the first part of the season. Szoboszlai, late winner against Arsenal. We had late winners, and they maybe got us out of a bit of a jam. So maybe grief is a part. And grief is probably, I think it absolutely is a part. It's not the reason, but it's certainly our reason. Swifty, have Liverpool gambled on too many from weaker leagues? Well, no, not really. I mean, Kirkes come from the Premier League. Isak from the Premier League. You've got Wirtz in there, you've got Frimpong in there, and you've got Ekitike in there. But Ekitike's got widespread praise. So I think maybe if you're focusing on Wirtz and Frimpong has barely played. So when you say, have Liverpool gambled on too many from weaker leagues, there's only one player that we've signed that has played regularly from weaker leagues. Wirtz, that's the only one. So it's not too many players from weaker leagues, because we've signed quite a few from the Premier League who've got experience at this level. FM No Casuals, Forest deserve this. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Forest deserve this. They deserve this in the same way that City deserved it. But I think you can also say at the same time, the first goal shouldn't stand and it should be 0-0 at half time, and then it's a different game. So I might as well just go to my post-match reaction that I did for the City game and just change the thumbnail, change the title and re-release it, because it's effectively the same thing that I'm going to be saying. It's going to be Liverpool, poor performance, dreadful second half, absolutely shocking second half, same as we were against City. But in a crucial moment in the game, the referee gives a shocking decision that should have been disallowed, and it was given. And that's what we're going to talk about again. It's going to be Forest deserved the 3 points. There's no slight on Forest at all. Forest deserved the 3 points. But it's also worth noting that Liverpool have been let down by the officials yet again. And we got an apology effectively last week. I imagine we'll get an apology again this week. Wouldn't be a surprise if Howard Webb on Ref Watch says, well, you know, it's a subjective one. Is he going to back up his mates again? Probably he'll do that. Andy Bassist, you can't just decide now to blame your form on that. No, it's not Andy, again, you're looking for a simplistic answer. And it's not, there is no simplistic answer, mate. I'm not saying, you can't say this is the reason, bang, there you go. That's not what it is. There's a multitude, a combination of reasons. And second half, Liverpool have just been shite. We've just been awful. There's no more, you can't say any more than that. We have been absolutely dreadful. We've been shocking. And Forest deserve to win. We've been shocking. Forest deserve to win. And there you go, 3-0. Fuck it. 3-0, brilliant. Brilliant. Look at that as well. Honestly, the defence, look at Van Dijk. The defence are like statues. Absolute statues. Look at Alisson. Alisson's coming out to saying, we're moving, lads, or what? You know, they've got fucking cement in the boots. They've got absolute cement in the boots. What's going on? What is going on? The lads at the back are all over the place. We're all at sea. 3-0. It's an absolute shocking second half performance. It's a shocking second half performance, but I'm still not going to let it get away from the fact that that first goal should not have stood. It should be 0-0 at half time, and it would have been a different game. But yes, second half performance, 3-0, no excuses. Forest deserved the win. Look at the space. I can't tell you the space that he's got there. Cuts in so easy. Do you know what? And again, Liverpool fans here have been saying, everyone's been saying, oh yeah, Andy Robertson, get him back in the side. Get him back in the side. Yeah, what about that? Andy Robertson cut in dead easy. No problem. Kirkes has been half decent all game. No problem with Kirkes. But Andy Robertson, get him in the side. What happens? Ball comes down his side. There you go. Too easy. Far too easy, that. Far too easy. Andy, most of your team are phoning it in and fans like yourself will blame the loss of Jota. If United lost a bench player, it's horrific, and honesty, I'm not taking it lightly. Andy, mate, you're talking out your absolute backside. You are talking out your arse, mate. You're talking out... I mean, one, it's mega insane. I can only assume you've not lost anyone in your life, and I hope you never have to in the same way, but I'll tell you what an absolute wanker you are for saying that. What an absolute arsehole you are. Because there's whatever way you want to dress it up, Whatever way you want to dress it up, to say that this means that Jota's passing has had no impact on this Liverpool side is nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Carl, you can't blame a death on your team playing bad. That's just as bad, simple as. Again, people just can't listen. Either you're just willfully ignorant and you're just choosing not to listen. I assume that's what it is. Maybe you're just choosing not to listen. Because you're looking for a simplistic one-word answer. Why are Liverpool bad? Defence. You're looking for a caveman answer. You're looking for an absolute simplistic answer. There's no simplistic answer. It's a combination of things. It's a combination of things. Andy says Jota's passing hasn't had the effect on them as footballers, mate. How? How can you possibly know that, Andy? He played nearly 40 games for us last season, mate. You called him a bench player. Jota was a massive part of this Liverpool side, both as a player and as a teammate. He was there for years. Salah was crying on the pitch first game of the season. Andy Robertson was basically crying midweek after Scotland go to the World Cup. To say that Liverpool have not been affected by it is about as insensitive as it gets, and it's inaccurate to say that he was a bench player. So I can only assume that you're a knobhead using Jota's passing to try and get a rise. And if that's your approach, then that's totally your bag. But you're a divvy. Let's just say that. On a Permo, how much did Man City spend in January and generally got worse? Teams in rebuilds rarely get better. That's very true. Takes time. Big Dunk, these are professional athletes. Yeah, mate, the professional athletes, not robots. Not robots. Let's just be very clear. The professional athletes, they're not robots. They've got emotions, they've got brains. They know that if a player dies, not just a player, not just a robot, a machine. No, it's a friend, mate. They were at his wedding 2 weeks before he died. They were literally there with his kids and his wife. And you're saying it like it's not going to have an effect on him. We've had players crying on the pitch this season. And people are saying, sack Slot. Get a life. Get a life. You're talking out your ass. Get a life. Red Eyes Kerb, remember Liverpool fans laughing at United for drawing away to Forest. Doesn't look half bad now, eh? Well, again, United got very lucky with that one, didn't they? With a refereeing decision that Liverpool didn't get lucky with today. So there you go. Refereeing decisions playing big parts in games of football. Who knew? Who knew? Carl said, you said the team are playing bad because they're grieving. Your words, not mine. Again, Carl, Caveman Carl. That's what we're going to be. I'm going to be using your full name from now on, Carl. Caveman Carl. Fucking hell. IQ of a puddle. Jesus Christ. G. Lawrence says, Key, you're always blaming the refs, mate. Again, people are talking out there. What do you say, Key? I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not blaming the refs. Are these people absolutely simplistic sallies? That's what we're talking about here. Cavemen. I've got fucking cavemen in the chat. People talking out their ass. We're talking nonsense here now. This is nonsense. There's more than one reason for certain things. Two things can be true at once. Liverpool have been screwed by referees and not just that before. So keep your ears on, keep them turned on. It's not just that one thing. It's not just Jota's death. It's not just Liverpool have been screwed by referees. It's also Liverpool have been absolutely turbo gash for a large part of this season. So there is more than one reason. You can pick whichever one you want if it suits your agenda. By all means, pick the one that suits you best. But it is a multitude of reasons. Andy Bassist, loss is horrific. Oh, here we go. They're talking absolute shite. They're talking shite. I'm not even going to read that out. Not even going to read that out. Disgusting. Red Eyes Kev says, Key, are you still thinking slot in after this one? I'll say it loud and I'll say it very clear for the people at the back. Slot in until Liverpool look like we're going to finish in the bottom half. If we're going to finish in the bottom half, I tell you what, if we're in 9th come April, if by April we're in 9th, I'll join you. I'll join you and I'll say, slot out. But I'm telling you, honestly, everyone said it. When Jota passed away in the summer, there was plenty of Liverpool fans who said it. They've all got short memories, evidently. But when Liverpool lost Jota in the summer, anyone with a conscience, anyone who'd lost anyone in their life, anyone who'd watched football for whatever your team was, whether you were a Liverpool fan, a United fan, an Arsenal fan, a City fan, an Everton fan, whoever, everyone said, do you know what? Liverpool get a pass this year. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. Liverpool get a pass this year. Whatever happens this year, for them to have to deal with that going into a new season, you can't imagine it. It's unprecedented. No one's ever had to do it before. So, for me to go slot out, something absolutely dramatic would have had to happen. And I would have to firmly believe that he's lost the dressing room. And I don't believe that at all. I firmly believe we've brought a lot of new players in. And it takes time. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing chaos. We're seeing an element of disorganised chaos. Andy, bassist, cry and moan, fella, but truth hurts. Andy, respectfully, mate. I mean, do you know what? Disrespectfully, you're talking out your arse. You're talking out your arse, and to use Jota in the way you just did, especially after what you said as well, by the way, which I didn't read out, but what you said about what you'd been through, to say that about Jota then, mate, I think that says an awful lot about you. I think you've got some thinking to do, mate, because you shouldn't be saying that sort of stuff. It's not a good look, put it that way. It's not a good look. I'd like to think you're better than that, Andy. Jottish GHK says, for everyone trolling, go and have a good hard think about your life. Honestly, I don't know how people can talk about that I don't know. I can only assume they've not had to deal with that sort of loss in their life. And I honestly, irrespective of the trolling, I hope you never have to. I hope you never have to. James says the guy's dead, but you can't blame him for this, mate. That's just vile. Yeah, James, I didn't say that. I didn't say that, James, for what it's worth. Didn't say that for what it's worth. Michael says, Kieran, what if Liverpool are doing better in the Champions League and being in the bottom half of the Prem? Would you still want Slot out? No, if we're in the bottom half of the Prem, but we win the Champions League or we're getting close to it, I think no. I'd probably be happy to keep him in that case. But yeah, it's a long season. There's still time. There's still time. Timothy, what did Andy say? I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say what he said. The guy doesn't need to be mentioned. I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. But I'll repeat what I said. Like I said, at the end of the day, if you slot out and you're calling yourself a Liverpool fan, just have a little think. Just have a little think. Honor Permo said he never said the entire reason. He said many reasons. Exactly. Well, I'm glad there's people who've got a little bit of nuance in the chat and understand that's what I said. Jake Rigby, wool. Oh, Jake. Oh, don't call me a wool. I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated by that. What an insult that is. You were born just outside Liverpool. Oh, fucking hell. Really? What a shit argument that is. That's literally the worst insult I've ever heard anyone come out with. You fucking wool. Get a life, soft ass. Gee, wind your neck in. We're well entitled to call Slot out for this horrendous... Yeah, if you call Slot out, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And I'll say it again, you're an idiot. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're a bigger idiot. You're an absolute moron. To call Slot out, you're an idiot. Absolutely gone. You're absolutely gone. I've no problem saying any Liverpool fans calling for Slot out. That's them on the list. They're on the list. I don't listen to them for anything after that. That's it. They should be straight on a list, never ever to be taken seriously about anything. Slot out. I've never heard such fucking nonsense. I've never heard such nonsense. Oh. Timbo Key needs to lie down after this. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Mark spent £500 million on a 10th. This is hilarious. Slot out. Yeah, listen to him. Oh. Sweet Lord. Leighton Orient 1, Blackpool 1. Penalty for Brentford. Could be 2-2 at the Amex. We honestly, we haven't looked like scoring one, so I'm not even going to make a big deal. We haven't looked like we've scored one, or we're going to score one all game. Or certainly in the second half anyway. It's a horrendous... This might well be the worst performance of the season. It is. It is the worst performance of the season. However you want to dress it up, it is. Birmingham 4, Norwich 1. Get me water back on. Timbo, I still stand by my point that Salah shouldn't have got that 400k contract. He's getting peak Salah wages when he's not peak Salah. Fair enough, but I'd still say that he needed to get the contract because you can't let Salah leave. You couldn't let him leave. I think it was the right decision to give him the contract, but I think he goes at the end of the season anyway. So, yeah. Penalty missed from Brentford. They could have equalised, and it's kept it to 2-2 or 2-1 rather. Paul, stop reading the TikTok chat, mate. Listen, I'm not going to read the TikTok chat because I know what people are saying. It's the same horse shit we've been dealing with on YouTube. It's the same nonsense we've been getting. It's people talking nonsense. Has anyone played good? No, OM. Nobody's played good today for Liverpool. The whole performance has been absolutely dreadful. It's probably the worst performance of the season. So again, let's just finalise this. Let's just finish it as it is, because it has just finished. The referee's just blown up. Let's just say it for what it is, right? It was a terrible performance, an absolutely dreadful performance, but the referee screwed us, and it's quite clear that Liverpool are still in a grieving process. So there you go. That's the situation as it stands. All three things are true. Liverpool played terribly. Forest deserved to win. The referee absolutely screwed us on the first goal. It should have been 0-0 at half-time. Forest deserved to win. Yeah, not a good performance. There you go. I've said it. I've said it. There you go. Stu, non-excuses. They're not excuses though, are they? That's it. They're not excuses. They're not excuses to say that Liverpool have played badly. I've held my hands up. I've said Liverpool have played terrible. It was the worst performance of the season. Certainly the second half. Second half was dreadful. Awful. We came out second half, conceded one straight away. The third one was even worse, and we didn't look like we didn't lay a glove on them. We were shocking second half. But I think the damage was done in the first half when the referee gives a goal that last week he chalked off. Last week, the PGMOL chalked off the exact same fucking goal. So it should have been absolutely... That shouldn't have been ruled. That shouldn't have been given. Should not have been given. The Forest goal should never have been given. The first one, no chance. It should be 0-0 going into half-time, and then maybe we come out differently. Maybe it's a different... Same as City. You never know. Goals change games, and that one certainly changed the game. Should have been ruled out, and I think everyone will... Anyone who's not a City fan, or an Arsenal fan, or an Everton fan, or a United fan, trying to, score points, anyone who's of that mindset will agree that should have been ruled out. It should have been ruled out. It should. There's no way around it. So that one should have been ruled out, and Liverpool still have played pretty terribly in the second half. So there you go. Liverpool will feel very, very hard done by, but equally I think Slot will come out and say performance was shit, and it was. So there you go. Right, I am going to be back in about 20 minutes for Newcastle against Manchester City. If you want to join me, please do. Give us a like, give us a follow, get over to YouTube and subscribe. Yeah, pissed off. I'll be back in 20 minutes. Take it easy.